In this segment, we'll be discussing the fascinating world of animal reproduction and development. Understanding how animals reproduce and develop is not only interesting but also essential for studying biodiversity and conservation. Animal reproduction and development are diverse and complex processes that vary greatly among species. We will delve deeper into these topics in the following sections of this video, but for now, let's briefly touch upon the importance of understanding these processes. By learning about the different ways animals reproduce and develop, we can gain insights into their survival strategies, population dynamics, and ecological roles. Furthermore, this knowledge can help us make informed decisions about conservation efforts and the management of endangered species. In this segment, we will explore the different types of reproduction in animals. There are two main categories: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of gametes, or sex cells, from two individuals to create a new offspring. This can occur through internal fertilization, where sperm meets the egg inside the body of the female, or external fertilization, where sperm and eggs are released into the environment to meet. Sexual reproduction generates genetic diversity, as offspring inherit a unique combination of genes from both parents. This genetic diversity can be beneficial, as it increases the chances of survival and adaptation to changing environments. Asexual reproduction, on the other hand, does not involve the fusion of gametes. Instead, an individual organism produces offspring that are genetically identical or very similar to itself. There are various forms of asexual reproduction, including budding, where a new individual develops as an outgrowth from the parent organism; fission, in which an organism splits into two or more identical individuals; and parthenogenesis, where an egg develops into a new individual without being fertilized by sperm. Asexual reproduction has its advantages and disadvantages. Some advantages include rapid reproduction without the need to find a mate, allowing a species to quickly colonize a new habitat or recover from a population decline. However, the lack of genetic diversity in asexually reproducing species can make them more vulnerable to environmental changes and diseases, as there is less potential for adaptation. In this section, we will discuss the various life cycles and developmental stages of animals. There are three primary types of development: complete metamorphosis, incomplete metamorphosis, and direct development. Complete metamorphosis consists of four stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. The larval stage is generally quite different from the adult form, often having a different diet and habitat. The larva then enters the pupal stage, where it undergoes a dramatic transformation into its adult form. Examples of animals that undergo complete metamorphosis include butterflies, beetles, and flies. Incomplete metamorphosis, on the other hand, involves three stages: egg, nymph, and adult. In this type of development, the nymph resembles a smaller version of the adult but may lack some adult features such as wings. As the nymph grows, it undergoes a series of molts, shedding its exoskeleton to make room for growth, until it reaches its adult form. Examples of animals with incomplete metamorphosis include grasshoppers, dragonflies, and true bugs. Direct development is a process in which there is no distinct larval stage. Instead, the animal is born or hatched in a form that closely resembles the adult, and grows gradually into adulthood. This type of development is common in mammals, birds, and reptiles. Understanding these different developmental processes allows us to better comprehend the diverse ways in which animals grow, mature, and reproduce, shedding light on the intricate workings of the natural world. Now let's dive into the various types of parental care found in the animal kingdom. Parental care can be categorized into three main types based on how offspring are born: oviparity, ovoviviparity, and viviparity. Oviparity is the process of egg laying, where the female lays eggs that develop and hatch outside her body. This method of reproduction is common in many species, including birds, reptiles, and most insects. Ovoviviparity is a form of live birth in which eggs are retained and hatch within the mother's body. Although the eggs receive no nourishment from the mother, they are protected and provided with a more stable environment for development. Examples of ovoviviparous animals include some species of sharks, reptiles, and insects. Viviparity is the process of live birth where the developing offspring receive direct nourishment from the mother's body through a specialized structure, such as a placenta. This method of reproduction is common in mammals, allowing for the growth and development of more complex offspring. Different species exhibit a range of parental care behaviors to ensure the survival of their offspring. In mammals, this can include lactation, grooming, and protection. Birds often exhibit nest building, feeding, and teaching behaviors to support their young. Fish and amphibians may guard their nests or carry their offspring on their bodies or in their mouths to provide safety and care. Understanding the various strategies and types of parental care across the animal kingdom can offer insights into the adaptations that have evolved to maximize reproductive success and offspring survival. In this section, we'll discuss reproductive strategies and adaptations that animals have developed to ensure their survival and success. One important concept in understanding reproductive strategies is the RK selection theory. This theory classifies species based on their reproductive rate and the amount of parental care provided to offspring. R-selected species have a high reproductive rate, producing many offspring with each reproductive event. However, they provide little to no parental care. These species rely on quantity over quality, hoping that at least some of their offspring will survive to reproduce. Examples of R-selected species include insects, rodents, and certain fish. On the other hand, K-selected species have a low reproductive rate and produce fewer offspring. They invest heavily in parental care, increasing the likelihood that their offspring will survive to adulthood and reproduce. Examples of K-selected species include larger mammals, such as elephants and primates, as well as birds like albatrosses. There are many examples of reproductive adaptations in different species. Seasonal breeding is one such adaptation, where animals reproduce during specific times of the year to ensure offspring are born during the most favorable conditions. Courtship rituals and displays are another adaptation, used by many species to attract mates and signal their suitability as a partner. Sperm competition and mate guarding are additional reproductive strategies employed by some animals. Sperm competition occurs when the sperm of multiple males compete to fertilize a single female's eggs, resulting in various anatomical and behavioral adaptations to increase the likelihood of successful fertilization. Mate guarding is a strategy where males protect their mates from other potential suitors, increasing the chances that they will father the offspring. Understanding the range of reproductive strategies and adaptations across the animal kingdom can provide valuable insights into the evolutionary pressures and environmental factors that have shaped these behaviors over time. In this concluding section, let's recap the key points in animal reproduction and development. We've covered the two main types of reproduction: sexual reproduction, which involves the combination of genetic material from two parents and leads to greater genetic diversity, and asexual reproduction, which produces genetically identical offspring through processes such as budding, fission, and parthenogenesis. We also discussed the different life cycles and developmental processes animals undergo, including complete metamorphosis, incomplete metamorphosis, and direct development. Each process has unique stages and examples across various species. Parental care and strategies were another important aspect we covered. We discussed the differences between oviparity, ovoviviparity, and viviparity, as well as various examples of parental care in mammals, birds, fish, and amphibians. In the realm of reproductive strategies and adaptations, we examined the RK selection theory and how it helps us understand the differences in reproductive rates and parental care among species. We also looked at some fascinating examples of reproductive adaptations, such as seasonal breeding, courtship rituals, sperm competition, and mate guarding. Studying these processes is essential for understanding biodiversity and conservation. By learning how different species reproduce and develop, we can better appreciate the complexity of the natural world and make more informed decisions about protecting and conserving our planet's rich array of life.